Good morning, world. In other videos, I've talked about infidelity, but today I wanted to do a quick one, but don't hold me to the Q word. Five things not to do after a partner's infidelity. First is to fly off the handle, because the normal reaction for many people when you've discovered that your partner has been unfaithful is to start be angry. A lot of people get angry, and of course sometimes people will just go off and have that reaction that comes with anger. But it's important to remember to kind of keep that down a little bit. Yeah, the normal human reaction may lead you to feel angry, but it's important to try to maintain a level of calmness. Try to kind of maintain yourself a little bit in that situation. Don't fly off the handle. Don't engage in behaviors that you will eventually either have to pay for or have to deal with the consequences of, because whatever you do in this moment of anger, at some point when you are no longer angry, the impact will still be there. So be mindful of that, because yeah, you don't want to do things that you later have to regret and pay for. 2, do not blame yourself. Once people start getting over that anger, a lot of times in that moment of sadness and trying to figure it out, some people experience that, what have I done? What did I do? What should I have done? You have to remember that this was a decision made by your partner. This was the decision that was about your partner. They made that decision, not you. You cannot take blame for what they did. You cannot take blame for their choice. It's not about you. It is something that your partner did, and it was your partner's decision. It was your partner's choice. It was your partner's action. So you cannot take blame for it. 3, do not compare yourself to the other person. It's also very common that people will start getting into that, oh, what do they have that I don't have? What does she do that I don't do? What does he do that I don't do? What is different about him? What is different about her from that made my partner go to them instead of me? You have to remember that you and that person are not the same person, and you both bring completely different yet very valuable characteristics to the relationship. You are not that person, and you don't want to be that person. You are you, and you are awesome in your very own special way. You are awesome enough that they're with you, that they've been with you. So don't try to compare yourself to the other person. Focus on being you. Focus on how being you will help you heal from this, and maybe eventually, if that's what you decide, how being you is going to help you heal in the relationship. But don't compare yourself to the other person. It's almost like apples and oranges. 4, do not allow others chatter into your space. Especially, I know I've mentioned before about getting friends involved once there's been infidelity in a relationship. Again, it's important to not have that chatter. You're going to be making very important decisions. You have to figure a lot of things out. You have a lot of thoughts. There's a lot going on with you. And the last thing you need is the confusion of other people's thoughts, ideas, beliefs of what they believe you should do, but what they believe is at your best interest. So focus on your thoughts, your wants, your wishes for yourself, for your relationship, with your partner, or whatever it is going to be. But limit the chatter of other people so that it doesn't interfere with what you think, what you want, and things like that. And finally, do not make any major decisions until you have had time to think and heal. Because when things like that happen, you are raw, you're experiencing a lot of emotion, and you're not exactly your best person. You're not in your best mental state at that time. And any decision that you make, you don't want the decision to be made out of anger, out of sadness, out of whatever the raw emotion that you're experiencing at the time. You want the decision to be made by you, about you, because of what you want. Quick recap. 1, don't fly off the handle, because as natural and normal as it is to be angry, there are consequences to actions that we make in anger, that we engage in anger, and at some point you're going to calm down, and you probably do not want to deal with those consequences. 2, don't blame yourself, because it is the other person's decision. It is not your decision. You did not do this, they did. 3, do not compare yourself to the other person, because This is something that you have your own very unique, special value. You're awesome in your own way, and you cannot compare yourself to this other person because apples and oranges. And finally, and actually four, don't allow other people's chatter in your space because you have a lot of very important decisions that you'll be making and you want them to be your decisions based on what you want and need. And finally, don't make any major decisions until you've had time to think and start healing, because you want any decisions you make to be about you and what you want and not just a decision made in anger. And yep, that is all we have for today. Good morning, world. Have an awesome day.